I am this light, I am this love, I am this compassion, I am this altruism, I am this resonance. All glories to the assembled devotees, all obeisances to the ascended masters, omni, omni, omni. Human development, the parascience of existence in a default setting. Those chosen to be the new leaders are removed from the planets by the brotherhoods and given a thorough teaching of the high heavens by the members of the high command. Love. Who are we? From where did we originate and to where are we destined? Why do we exist here on this terrestrial sphere? What is the purpose or purposes of life? Our purpose in life, our raison d'etre. Verily, it is herein elucidated in express form that human development, a lifelong program in the evolution of consciousness, beseeches not to provide answers to these perennial questions, but rather to question such questions a myoethic method. For one never answers such questions, but is rather always an answering of such. As one is always an answering of such questions, one never knows, but is rather always a knowing of such. As one is always a knowing of such questions, one never understands, but is rather always an understanding of such. Verily, an answering of such perennial questions exists within the very ambit of the questions themselves secondarily, and within that of the questioner primarily, the fulcrum of such gnosis. It is in dynamic compassion, selfless service, and universal resonance that are introduced to this world of worlds, worlds within and worlds without, my creative, psychic, and spiritual preceptor. The teacher whom as much as he teaches is himself taught. The thinker, feeler, and actor outside the squares, circles, and rhombuses of mundane phenomena. The virgin of the heart and the prostitute of the mind. The heart and conscience operant. The thingamajig, the transcender of nomenclative designations. The sword of light and the shield of love embodiment. The I within the I, insight. The him and the her and the fused. The amness, the hither and the thither. The love itself, the belover and the beloved. The guided by all and the imprisoned by none. The divine within and the divine without. The oneness of the manyness and the manyness of the oneness. The personified infinity and the infinite person. The hierophantic and the harlequinesque. The paradox on wheels. The greater than the great and the smaller than the small. Human, the hypothetical person. The outer to the there, the inner to the here. The God character, the designated bearer of the golden keys of knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual insight in the local super universes. I am this light, I am this love, I am this compassion, I am this altruism, I am this resonance. Our sinusoidal lodestar, per ardua et astra, funds et ergo, through all difficulties to the stars, our source and origin. To the ancient Egyptian, I am this the Heron. To the Jew, I am this the Messiah. To the Christian, I am this Jesus Christ in his Perusia. To the Hindu, I am this Kalki. To the Buddhist, I am this Maitreya. To the Muslim, I am this the Mahdi. To the Zoroastrian, I am this Shao Shians. To the Confucian, I am this the Kingly Man. To the Jain, I am this the Tankra Manifest. To the sciences of evolution, I am this the missing link. To the one who anticipates, I am this the anticipated. For I am this that I am this, am this. From the first of carbon atom, to the first of helium molecule, to the first of protozoa, to the first of metazoa, to the first of reptile, to the first of bird, to the first of fish, to the first of amphibian, to the first of mammal, to the first of hominid, to the first of the protean instar of this human collective, to the infinite living beyond beyondness itself was, is, and forever will be, the science of light and the religion of love, human development, the parascience of existence in a default setting. The default setting is a dimensional perceptual band, an archetype creation model constructed in the tripartite living word of love, that is, the light, sound, and divine geometries that underlie all superstructures, structures, substructures, and ultrastructures in multiversal and multi-universal meta-creation. The default setting is perceived or experienced through the primary frames of reference, namely the space-time continuum, spatio-temporal, the tridimensional, three-dimensional pancosmic diorama or matrix, and logical reasoning rectilinear thinking, as a living biome or biohabitat housing diverse collations of life forms and train in infinite permutations within finite settings of space, time, logic, reason, and matter. All that is, was, and will be and become in the default setting exists and evolves in alphas and omegas of alpha-omegaic programming and alum fusions, that is, beginnings, ends, beginnings of ends, and ends of beginnings. Time is a noumenon, a novel phenomenon that cannot be calculated on errant abacuses of human rationalization. Light. Humanity has become a misnomer in its miasmata. The human seems to be disappearing from the living essence of humanity. There is fortissimo fermata anla morso gracioso, hierophantic hiatuses in the Morphean music of the sidereal spheres. Can it not be said that one should not be fed by another, that which one cannot with one's own volition cook? Can it not be said that one should not be taught by another, that which one cannot with one's own volition discover? Can it not be said that one should not be directed to a where, a who, a what, a how, a which, that which one cannot with one's own volition direct oneself? Verily, the kingdoms of God and the queendoms of Goddess exist within one and not without. The self-perfecting purpose of this life-form program in the evolution of consciousness is creative, psychic and spiritual progression and consciousness perfection through the refinement of ego and the rectification of conscience. Quintessentially heuristic, it aids one to think more about thinking itself than what is thought, and in so doing enables one to overcome the reactive inertias of one's human life so as to take proactive changes for humankind, poco a poco, that is little by little. Where the soul particles of the human collective add, subtract, multiply, and divide through dynamic compassion, selfless service, and universal resonance in thoughts, feelings, and conducts. Where the soul particles of the human collective be and become in rebirth, renewal, and rejuvenation. Where the soul particles of the human collective activate, actualize, and potentialize its creative, psychic, and spiritual potentials beyond fear, ignorance, and hypocrisy in idea, ideal, and belief. But the soul particles of all sources of dynamic compassion, secular humanitarianism, and deep ecology traverse and transcend the trials and tribulations of these temporal and transient worlds so as to attain that which is transcendental and triumphant, the eternal and endless domains of the God of all God principles, the omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent primary energy gestalt that nourishes, sustains, and immunizes all possible, probable, and potential life forms in multiversal and multi-universal meta-creation. Love, light, and living, the God character, human development, the parascience of existence, in the default setting.